Years ago, when I was just about to leave the US to come back to Nigeria, God gave me an instruction. Every money that I had at that time, He told me to sow it as a seed. And after sowing it as a seed, I sold my car, sold everything I had, and sold every money I had as a seed. And just before I was to return, the church here was to buy some buses from the US. So they had sent money for me to go and make the payment for the buses. I had sold everything and given everything that I had. And that day I was to go and make a transfer for the money to the bank. To the people that were to, get the buses. And there was no money to even take transport to the bank. I trekked to the bank with money in my account that could buy many buses. But I would not touch one dime to transport myself to get there. And I got to the bank, made the transfer. You can imagine, fleet of buses that were to be bought. The money was with me. But I would not spend one out of it to carry myself to do the assignment that they sent me to do. Why? My future was too big to be sold for a morsel of bread. I was in courtship with my wife that day, in that period. I came out of the bank and I called my wife and I told her, I said, can you imagine where I am? She said, where? I said, I'm in the bank. She said, how did you get there? I said, I trekked to the bank. She said, wow. And I said, listen, this simple action that I've taken today is a guarantee that I can never see poverty. You see, we must come to a point where we refuse to bow to the God of gold. I was crossing, America, they don't walk anywhere, they drive everywhere. I was crossing highways on foot to get to the bank, to transfer money that was with me, to buy buses on the behalf of the church. But I know that even though it is in my account, it's not my money. Is somebody getting what God is saying? You must come to a point where you refuse to bow to the God of gold.